I'm going to give you a fast track to grow your profit inside this episode, and it's definitely not what you think, because today I am going to give you a 4-step framework to fail faster so that your success is inevitable in 2025. And definitely stick around because I'm making a huge announcement about a special opportunity, my first ever live event that I'll be hosting here in Phoenix in April. Happy New Year. Welcome to the Best Damn Coach podcast. It is 2025, and this is our first episode of the year, and I'm bringing it strong today. I am going to tell you exactly why I think you need to fail faster this year, and that might be highly uncomfortable, and I'm here for it. Before we dive in, I have a massive announcement to make. And that is, I am doing something this year that has been on my bucket list for business. And I've been dancing around it, holding off. And I decided in 2024 that 2025 would be the year I host my first ever live 2-day event. And I mean, of course, it's going to be called Best Damn Coach Live. This is going to be a room of coaches who want to bring in clients in like the most effortless way. You want specific, tangible strategies to make that happen. You want to be in the company of like-minded coaches who get what it's like to run a coaching practice. And you want to be under the direction of someone who's not going to give you fluffy stuff. You're not going to go to a 2-day conference feeling all energized and pumped and motivated and then go back and feel overwhelmed of how to implement. That is not what I am about. So BDC Live is going to be hosted here in Phoenix, April 7th and 8th. It is going to run from 9 to 4. It's going to be jam-packed with value, and I would love to have you there. I've already opened the doors to my private community, so tickets are actually halfway sold out. And so I want to give the remaining tickets, or offer, I should say, the remaining tickets to you, my amazing listeners. So you can visit the site to find all the details out at amanda-walker.com/BDC live. We'll drop the link in the show notes. I'm talking about it all over social media in the month of January because I want to finish selling out these tickets so that we can start coming together. There's a private Facebook community you can jump into once you are joined. I mean, we have friends from Canada, New York, Jersey, Kansas City, California, and of course, lots of locals. So there are ladies coming from all over the U.S., and we only have 42 seats. And half of them are already gone. So we only have a few left. So I want you to grab one. And part of what we're going to be doing is really looking at some of the things I'm talking about today. So I want to kind of rewind what inspired this show specifically. And it has to do with something I did in 2024. So I was combing through my business and really asking myself, what's working in my business? Like, what can I do more of? Where am I getting clients? Why are they showing up in my world? And the glaring thing my team and I were able to find is when I teach webinars, when I have live trainings, people become my clients in some way. Sometimes it's immediate. Sometimes maybe it's a longer runway till they nurture. And so I said, okay, if I can repeat that more frequently, then I will get more clients. So I decided that my usual maybe once a quarter workshops, or in the previous years, I was maybe doing like 6 to 8 workshops a year. They were great. Often though, they were totally different workshops. I wasn't repeating the same workshops. So it's a lot of energy to like I like to say, same candy, different wrapper, to change the wrappers quite frequently. And so I said, like, what if I could potentially learn what's working in these webinars faster and be able to repeat that process. So I set out in 2024 to do a webinar every single week. And my thinking around this was like, I'm going to be able to test things really quickly. So if I do this one week, and to be honest, like the first week I didn't have any conversions in the webinar. So it's like, okay, what can I do better? So I change one variable and then I do it again the week later. And so I started building a lot of momentum. And the way I got people to sign up for these workshops was through organic funnels, sharing on my social media. When I speak on podcasts, that's the call to action that I give, is for them to join my workshops. When I meet people in communities, so that's kind of the organic way. But then I also run consistent Facebook ads. That's the cold or inorganic, the cold traffic that can get in there. So I'm having constant leads in there every week. But if I make one change each week, then I can fail faster. right? I can get the feedback very quickly to make adjustments. If you're only hosting one webinar a quarter or two a month, it's a long runway to be able to test things again. So if I host something in January and I don't do another workshop till June, I've been missing out on this opportunity to try again, perfect my systems, all the things. And so what I realized was that I spent 2024 failing faster, and it has literally almost tripled our revenue. And it has also helped me to reframe failure. So I feel like I can't even use the word failure because there were definitely moments where I had webinars and there were no conversions into clients. But I never left feeling, crappy, this sucks, I failed. It was like, ooh, I wonder why. And so my goal through this episode is to help you neutralize the F word, probably the most dreaded F word in business, failure. And could I even say, actually get excited about what that might offer you so you can make it better faster. So I've actually, every year inside the BDC, I kind of issue a theme for our community. And this year, our theme is failing fast in 2025. And I am inviting all of the community to really embody that, own that, and then define what that means for you. And so that's my first question for you. What does failure currently mean for you? I want you to just sit with that question as you listen. Here's what I think it probably means for many of you. This is kind of like the old way of thinking of failure. That failure is like really personal. Like if you fail at doing something, what it internally turns into is I suck. I failed. Right? When something doesn't go as planned, sometimes it's like I'm the failure. I'm a victim sometimes of the circumstances. It's all these other reasons. And what it often does is it puts us into the state of paralysis to move forward. Because you're so stuck in the emotions, you give it so much personal meaning to your value and worth because you see it as a barrier to your road. That's just like a roadblock that's just been shoved out on the road. And especially when we had an expectation that it would be so different, right? The greatest gap that I think we experience in business is the difference between reality and the expectations we had. We thought the webinar was going to convert 15 clients and it only converted one. So we make that mean we failed instead of going, I got one. How could I make it 5, right? And so I think that is the old way of failing, which I definitely relate to. And now I think, truthfully, the faster you can reframe this, the faster you're going to create success in your business. Because the longer you sit in that stuff, you're not taking action. You're sitting in paralysis. And that is not going to get you clients. It's not going to give you impact. It's not going to grow your bank account. It's not going to grow your confidence. So what I've actually learned, and I want you to hold on to this, is that failing brings 100% certainty of success. So I'll say it again. Failing actually brings 100% certainty of success. And so on today's call, on today's episode, I really, really want to prove that to you. And I also want you to understand that this takes time to wrap your head around, right? Our neural pathways are often grooved or have really deep grooves, especially if we've been hearing it from our parents or teachers since young ages. But we've been convinced that failing does exist. But what if it doesn't? What if there wasn't anything as failure? What if there was only opportunities of learnings that help us pivot? Like, what if you could take that groove and start to pour sand in it so that it starts to get compact and it doesn't actually exist anymore? And you start to see anytime something doesn't go the way you expected it to be an opportunity to capitalize it on the next go round. And so that's the part that I really want to challenge you around is if you own that thinking and massage that thinking, then your success is inevitable. Because each time you're going to go, okay, what could I do differently? What could I do better? And so this work will take time, and I totally understand that. This isn't like a fluffy princess moment of living in an idealistic place. What this is number one game-changing strategy that you need in order to be successful in your business. Because I guarantee there are 90% of you listening right now that are like, oh crap, this is me. Something doesn't go as planned, and I spend 3 months thinking about it, reworking my business, going back to my niche, thinking that webinars aren't the thing, not showing up on social media, and I just wasted the most precious, valuable resource, which is that time, right? So what I want to talk about are the 4 steps that will help you reframe that dreaded F word failure into opportunity. Okay, ready? Get your pen and paper. Here we go. Step number 1, the hardest, truthfully, I think. In order to fail faster and let go of that meaning, step 1 is you have to acknowledge that it happened. You can't sugarcoat it. You can't dance around it. You can't pretend. You can't not tell somebody about it. This was me. It would happen and Justin would say like, oh, how'd it go? And I would totally dance around it because I had a really big problem in my ego saying, actually, Justin, it sucked. Nobody showed up for it. But first step is we have to acknowledge that the thing happened so that we can look at it with an objective eye. So if you had the webinar and nobody showed up, okay, great. Actually, here's why this is great. Oh, because I can go back and comb through the phases. Nobody showed up. Okay, but people signed up. I had 25 people sign up, but nobody showed up. There's the gap, friends. They want what you were going to teach. They just didn't come to the party. So now you can say why, which leads me to number 2, is you have to live in a constant state of curiosity in your business. And if you're busy having a pity party for yourself about failure, or you're in your emotions and you're in your feelings about the gap in your perceived expectations in reality, then you're not in feelings of neutrality and curiosity. So I'm literally like, after I have an event, like I can't wait to get to our debrief. I can't wait to see how this thing ends so I can see the gaps in the phases. So for me, if I see, okay, 25 people signed up, but nobody showed up, then my work on the next webinar is the show up rate. And then I realized, oh, I never sent any email reminders. People signed up, but then after that, I didn't send like a couple day reminder or a 24-hour, or maybe, holy crap, I forgot to give them a Zoom link, or the Zoom link wasn't working. That is curiosity. Then I get to rinse and repeat it. And guess what? If 25 more people sign up and now at least 3 people showed up, boom, I know that I made progress. This is what high-level operation in your business means. It's not personal. It's learning to neutralize our personal worth and value and asking what kind of important metrics and curiosity can I look at that give me the feedback. Not like I put something out there on social media and nobody bit. Okay, great. How many people saw it? How many people engaged? What did you do? Did you do follow-ups? Which leads me to number 3. So acknowledge it happened, get curious. Number 3 is find the lesson. What is the learning that you have to take away that's being offered to you right now? Is the learning go work on your show up rate? Is the learning shoot, social media can't be my viable option to run a business? Is the learning like on a coaching session that didn't work? Like if you have a coaching session that goes crappy, in your opinion, you didn't fail. You just have an opportunity to comb back through the session and say, where did I maybe lose control of the client? Like where did they take over and I lost control? Maybe I forgot to give homework. Maybe there's something there. So you have to find the lesson. Which lastly leads me to step 4 is regulate your energy. You can give the greatest gift to yourself in business through emotional regulation. If you are constantly in the dredges of failure or making meaning to things and you're showing up, never getting ready, in sweatpants, spending time just watching everybody else on social media, not taking yourself seriously. That's like little energy. That's energy of lack. That's energy, definitely, that's not big energy, which I want you to bring into 2025. But you have to make decisions to regulate your energy and try to keep it in the highest vibrational states. So if that means you just hosted a webinar and 25 people signed up and only one showed up and and the whole time you're sitting and the fact that only one person is there, that is not the best you. The best you is going to be like, I am going to just crush it for this one person so that one person becomes my client. Or you finish a call with a client and it really is like get your booty up, go take a walk, go do some jumping jacks. Be the energy that you want to feel. I promise these 4 steps will game change your profit because they're not going to allow you to sit in scarcity and inaction. And that's where I feel that there's so many amazing, I know you guys, you're so great at what you do. Your clients love you. You're great at serving them. You want more of them. Sometimes this overachiever perfectionism has you sidelined because when it doesn't go your way, and maybe you're used to having it your way and doing like A+ work everywhere else in jobs and careers where there's constant adoration and people are like, atta girl, and people are telling you what to do. This is a transition. There's going to be nobody there doing that except for you. Unless you're in communities like the BDC where we're like constantly celebrating. We get that. We get that you sometimes can feel like you're on an island. We'd love to have you in the BDC. But this is the key to having everything that you want in 2025 is your ability to reframe failure and fail faster. Put yourself in positions to fail faster. Go put yourself in uncomfortable environments repetitiously. Because what you learn is going to be so like life-giving and so data-giving this year that, as I said before, that your success is certain. And so if this is like stretching your brain, you're like, oh my gosh, this is me, then I'm so glad you're hearing this episode. Do me a favor, please, please, please. Will you copy the link right now and send it to another coach that needs to hear this message? I want so many coaches to hear what I have to say today about the opportunity around failure because it definitely is going to be a catalyst to your business and you can hold yourself accountable in whatever way. We have an entire basically experiment. We're tracking our failures in the BDC this year, which we've never done before, which super excites me. And our community is here for it. And I want you to be here for it as well. So welcome to 2025 and your opportunity to fail faster. I'm so glad you're here with me. I hope this episode just challenges you, also speaks life into your heart and into your mind. Screenshot it, share it on your socials. And if there's any way I can support you in 2025, please let me know. I would love to meet you in real life at the live event, April 7th and 8th in Phoenix, Arizona. It's just a quick 20-minute drive from Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. You can snag your ticket quickly before they sold out at amanda-walker.com/BDC live. All right, you guys, until next week, go coach them up, and I'll see you then.